Hello, welcome to our webinar. It's exciting for all of you to be here. We have a message that is one that we've been working to promote for well over a decade, but finally coming together where we have all the right tools to be able to help you as clinics work with your patients to teach them the things they need so that they're able to go back and be able to not only improve their health and the things that actually might have caused the disease, but also improve the health of your clinic. And we're going to be talking about some great new research on nutrient needs in the body and really try to end once and for all, is there a need for supplementation based on true research? And at the same time, looking at the research as to why in a clinic we need to focus on the essentials and not just therapeutic needs of the acute situation at the moment. And that if we're not educating and teaching our patients about the basics and the lifestyle that they need to follow, then we're not really doing our job as health professionals, and that's something that we can do to improve the health of our clinics as much as our patients. So I'm real excited to be able to speak to you here on behalf of Dr. Brimhall, and Clark Tilley's here with me from Thrive that's going to help share the missing component that we haven't had that really brings this program together. And we're excited to also let you know of a new product that will be on the website tonight and ready to order tomorrow that goes along with this that we're really excited to know that your patients will love. And the topic of our webinar is, as it shows, daily nutrient essentials. And the research behind the body's supplemental nutrient needs and why most clinics are actually doing it wrong. There's a question, is there research to show that every American needs to supplement their diet on a daily basis? Is there really a need? And the research proves that we need to educate your patients and be able to provide the essential daily supplements in order to create long-term residual income. Is there really research that does that? The answer to both those questions is a resounding yes, that there's good, solid research to show that every single American needs to supplement their diet on a daily basis, and good research to show that you need to educate your patients and provide the essential daily nutrients that their body needs. The research shows that every American is deficient in very specific nutrients. And I'm going to give you just a couple research studies. There's literally hundreds of studies that show nutrient deficiencies with our typical American diet today, but I'm actually going to show another study that might open the eyes to those of you that actually eat healthy. But average calorie count, if you take a look at the average person in America, their average amount of calories that they consume a day is around 2,500. It's actually about 27 for men, 22, 23 for women, but on average about 2,500 calories a day. So if you were to consume foods that over 90% of the population eat, in other words, the high majority of Americans today, that if you take a look and just created a balance and an average of the foods that a person ate in a day, guess how many calories it would take to get 100% of the RDA, the recommended daily allowance, for vitamins and minerals in the body? Anybody have a wild guess? Just think about it for a second. The answer will amaze you. In the Journal of International Society of Sports Nutrition, they did such a study, and it was shown that the nutrient needs could only be met if individuals consumed over 27,000 calories worth of food each day. That is insane. So if you ate the normal American food, American meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you'd have to have 27,000 calories. Well, there's only 3,000 calories, about 3,500 calories in a pound of fat. So, we're looking at being able to put on 6-7 pounds of fat a day just to be able to get the RDA, the recommended daily amount of nutrients, vitamins, minerals, probiotics, and so on our body needs. It's impossible. But that's what it would take with a typical American meal. The actual study itself, the words straight from the study on the conclusion said that these findings are significant and indicate that an individual following a popular diet plan, as suggested, with food alone has a high likelihood of becoming micronutrient deficient. It's a state shown to be scientifically linked to an increased risk for many dangerous and debilitating health conditions and diseases. Absolutely amazing. There is absolutely no doubt, based on the research, that we need to supplement nutrients on a daily basis. So why? So what if we don't get 100% of certain nutrients, of B vitamins or calciums or magnesiums or whatever it might be? No big deal, right? Well, it only takes one nutrient deficiency to damage our entire metabolism. And there's an 80.8% increased likelihood of becoming overweight or obese in those with nutrient deficiencies because the body doesn't metabolize the food as well. 80% increased likelihood of getting fat or gaining fat. There's conditions created by just minor deficiencies in nutrients like vitamins B, certain ones, whether it's riboflavin or niacin, whatever it might be, vitamin D, vitamin C, magnesium, chromium, calcium, probiotics, and digestive enzymes. Some of the conditions range from low immunity to fatigue. Depression is a huge one, especially with vitamin D deficiency. Autoimmune diseases, especially when we're not digesting our food. High cholesterol, elevated blood pressures, high blood sugars, weight gain, strokes, heart disease, osteoporosis, cancer, and many more. All are caused, have great solid research, and I would be spending hours with it if I went through it all, but great research on specific nutrient deficiencies causing problems with and conditions like all of these. I mean, you can have a simple trace mineral, not even one of the major minerals, but a trace mineral like chromium deficiency, and it messes with your insulin and blood sugar levels. So we know that there are many conditions and diseases that are caused from small deficiencies. And so many people will say, okay, how about those of us who try to eat healthier? You know, look for a few organic foods, try to consume more fruits and vegetables, try to do it right. Maybe cut out red meats quite a bit, or at least make sure they're organic fed. And, you know, we make a really solid effort. Well, a research study analyzed 70 individuals, including a group of them that were athletes, who were seeking to improve their vitamin mineral intake from food choices, and so they consumed a lot of healthier foods, a lot more fruits and vegetables. And each of the 70 diets analyzed fell short of the RDA for vitamins, minerals, and essential fatty acids. And in fact, these highly motivated individuals trying their best were still deficient in 40.5% of the nutrients analyzed. And again, 100% of the individuals were not achieving the minimum daily RDA for all vitamins and minerals. And that again was from the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition. So we know, even in trying to improve our diet, that we're not going to get all of the micronutrient needs our body has to have in order to not just maintain a decent level of health, but to reach optimal health and vitality and longevity. So the research is solid. It really can't be denied. These are just, I picked a couple studies out that I thought might be new to a lot of you, but it's just over and over again that we need to supplement our diet if we truly want to be able to reach optimal health. And there's a problem in clinics today that actually causes patients to get sick again, and it also causes a loss of long-term residual income to the health professional. Thrive Company, who's going to be speaking to you with Clark Tilley in a few minutes, has researched many clinics around the nation that sell supplements. And many of these clinics do well over $100,000 a year in supplement sales. And in almost every clinic, 95 to 100% of all the supplement sales that come from that clinic come from patients the health professionals are currently seeing or currently working with. In other words, there's very little supplement sales to patients that have came in and then left the clinic. Whether they got better or moved or whatever the case might have happened, they're not selling hardly any nutritional supplements to those people. But yet we've just shown the research is very solid, saying we need these micronutrients on a daily basis, and that's what leads to many conditions today. It actually, research shows how it's much easier to develop a lot of the conditions of the spine and having these problems of being able to have subluxations and that because of nutrient deficiencies. So since we know this is a fact, if as health professionals we are not educating our patient and giving them the ability to work on the basic essentials, the essential daily nutrients, then we're not doing justice for the patient, And as you'll see, we're not actually doing justice for our clinics too. And as clinics, we spend a lot of time and money to determine our patients' immediate needs for supplementation. You know, and it's important to find the immediate needs, and we do everything from urinalysis testing to blood work to heart rate scans to muscle testing. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And then we work to explain to the patient the testing parameters, you know, why the test was effective and how we were going about it. And all those things are important. But if the patients are not educated on deficiencies caused by lifestyle, they'll quit taking the therapeutic supplements you recommend because of their acute problems as soon as they're out of pain, and they will eventually get sick again. That's the problem. The research is right there. It's amazing to me. I didn't believe it all at first. They're not buying and staying on their nutritional program after they leave the clinic? No. The reason they're not is because they are not taught the basics. Now, many moons ago, there was a group of us kids that grew up, and we played basketball from about 5 years old on up, and then we got to junior high. And at junior high tryouts one day, the very first day, a kid came out and says, I want to play. And so the coach said, great, here, pass the ball into him. And he said, kid, I want you to go down and put the ball in the basket. Just shoot up in that basket. Let's see how you do. So I passed it into him, and the kid, sure enough, ran down the court and put it right in the basket. The problem is he never dribbled, and he didn't know he was supposed to dribble. And so he went and fixed the problem. You know, he went up and the final thing, shoot that basket. That's what's important. But he didn't do all the things before then that would allow things to be legal, and he just wasn't taught the basics. Well, we need to really focus not on just getting the person out of pain or making the basket, but in the basics of how they get there. And if the patients are not given a simple daily essential nutrient program that's easy to take, the patient will not get better long term, but also the clinic won't receive any income once the patient leaves. So doctors, health professionals, you spend quality time with the patient. That's one of the things different from allopathic medicine, as the research shows, is the quality of time that is spent with the patient. But yet, we're not teaching them the basics of the things that led them to this, that the foods are just not as nutrient dense as they once were, and because of that, here are the things you need to be doing. There's a couple little quotes I want to give you from a couple very close friends of mine, and I just spoke to actually this lady the other day, and she gave a quote and actually changed it up a little bit from the last time. She said, my husband worked for over 30 years as a chiropractor before he passed away. The figures show that if only 10% of his patients still bought some basic supplements each month, I'd be making over $20,000 a month in residual income instead of just having to try to rely on Social Security. And then another good friend said that I'd be making over $27,000 a month if only 5% of my patients still bought a couple products a month. And this person was worried about, man, how am I going to make it? You know, I had to go back to work. He tried to retire, and he came back and trying to make it because, man, it's just not there. But if the patients would still be taking at least the essentials, the things that the research shows they need, as was taught by these doctors, then they'd still be receiving that residual income. So let's look at Dr. Brimhall, what he has to say. He said, I feel every person needs every day, no matter what, digestive enzymes, probiotics, essential fatty acids, vitamin D, and optimal fruit and veggie plus. And it's so amazing that when Clark and others went around and asked myself and Dr. Brimhall and other doctors around the nation, that it was pretty much straight across the line of what we felt based on the research was needed on a daily basis. And it's all because the research has proven it, and the doctors know by giving the patients these basics that they see the improvement, and we need to focus on those basic things. So doctors, what would you need in order to guarantee results, to guarantee long-term compliance, and to guarantee protection against your patients switching to someone else's vitamins? Like, for example, if they went on and left your clinic and went on your supplements that you recommended, your daily nutrient essentials, you know, some good fatty acids and vitamins and so on, and then what would keep them from seeing some infomercial or something and switching off, and then you're not getting the benefit anymore, even though you're the one that educated them on it? Well, let's see. Number one is to make sure that what we're giving the patients really creates results, the first thing that we want to guarantee. And the way to do that is to make sure we do it through food nutrients and through food nutrients that are pre-digested, that we can guarantee to deliver foods to the cellular level that come from nature, that are not synthetics. And studies abound on synthetic vitamins, that vitamin A causing birth defects. I mean, everyone pretty much knows that, right? If you or somebody you love has ever been pregnant, then you've always been told you can't take too much vitamin A, it causes birth defects. But you're never told you can't eat too many carrots. Why? Because there's a huge difference between synthetic vitamin A and natural vitamin A that comes from the foods. So there isn't a problem. There's not a toxicity of vitamin A that causes birth defects. There's a toxicity of synthetic vitamin A. And so it's really important to understand the difference and make sure that our patients are taking whole foods, not synthetic vitamins. Same thing with male smokers that were given beta-carotene and synthetic vitamin E, that they had a higher rate of lung cancer. Well, because it was the synthetics. Vitamin E in its synthetic form does an incomplete job and actually can cause problems. The research is strong and strong and strong. So to get results, we need whole food nutrients that are pre-digested. The second thing we need to get long-term compliance is we need to make sure the patient has simple-to-take nutrients. Think about it. We're talking about vitamins, 1, minerals, 2, probiotics, 3, essential fatty acids, 4, digestive enzymes, 5, and so now we've got all of these things that we have to take, 5 to 6 different bottles at every meal in order to make our supplement needs. Very few people are going to do that. We have to make it simple for them. And so we've created what I had alluded to at the first into a pack called a Daily Nutrient Essential Custom Pack, and the powder that comes along with it. It makes it very, very simple. Basically, the patient will take 1 pack of the capsules with each meal. Each pack has all the enzymes to digest that meal, the whole food vitamins, the minerals, the probiotics, the enzymes, essential fatty acids, everything. And they take it with breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There's 90 packets that come in the box. So instead of taking 5 or 6 different bottles, they just take a pack at each meal and they're covered. And then they take the Fruit and Veggie Plus to cover all of the macronutrient fruit and vegetable needs in the body. And so 1 pack 3 times a day, and each pack contains 100% of the RDA of 12 whole food vitamins, 9 organic chelated minerals, 9 stabilized probiotics, essential fatty acids, over 1.5 grams of those, from vegetarian sources, and 25 fruits and vegetables. That's just all in the custom pack. And there's over 35 full whole fruits and vegetables and the highest antioxidant rating in the Fruit and Veggie Plus that's available. Here's a look at the supplement facts. Look at the 100% and more all the way down the line with the new formula that we're just releasing tomorrow to you, along with the organic vegetable blend, organic fruit blend, the probiotics, everything that's in here, all the enzymes that are needed. And then you take a scoop, 1 serving a day of the Fruit and Veggie Plus that has the highest total antioxidant rating in industry, over 20,000 total ORAC units. Not just ORAC, but total ORAC, meaning neutralizing all of the free radicals. And this formula is so amazing, and you'll see the study in the top right-hand side, how it helps the mitochondria, it spikes oxygen consumption, endothelial response, nitric oxide response. It's so powerful that the government's given us 9 government-approved structure function claims, that we can actually make claims about this formula because of its power. So simply, the patient takes a pack at each meal, they go on the road, they can put it in their pocket, and they take 1 serving of the powder a day. Simple. It'll help create long-term compliance. So we know results by Whole Foods. We have long-term compliance by a system that just makes it extremely simple. And then we have protection against other people, and other infomercials or different companies or health food stores stealing away your patients from buying the formulas from you. And it's because of the custom pack I just mentioned, but also the auto ship program. They receive it every month. If they forget to go to the store, it's okay. It's coming to them. And with these 3 programs in place, it helps to fix those three issues. And it discourages others to switch to other companies and single nutrients. So if someone sees something that says, oh, I like that vitamin D that company's recommending, but you know what? I already get 100% or more of the RDA vitamin D in my pack, and it has everything else too. So they don't switch, versus if they were just using a bottle of something, it's easy to switch away from that. And again, the auto ship makes it very convenient. Now, this type of custom pack was originally designed and used for a group of people that needs to have everything super simple. They basically have to have, for the most part, not everyone, but well over 90% of them, have to have things handed to them, and it has to be extremely convenient to travel with. They're quite the prima donna group, and because of that, in order to get them to take all their nutrients that they needed, we made the custom pack program, and we purchased special machines that were developed for hospitals to be able to do this and run the nutrition through them. And that group, for a lot of you know, are professional athletes. It's not what a lot of people think as nutritionists working with these professional athletes. Many times it's a handheld type thing. But the neat thing is that the programs that we made for them now make it easier for your patients, to make it simple for them. So fix the problem of patient compliance with supplementation and using the whole foods. You help the patient fix the nutritional cause of most conditions by providing these pre-digested nutrients. We give it to them in simple, convenient packaging, and we create the long-term residual income. And the exciting thing is that we're coming out with programs to make it extremely easy to teach your patients. We have a flyer we just created that you hand to them that teaches them about each nutrient and what the research shows as to why they need it, why you have to have certain vitamins that are not in your foods today, why you need to digest your food and take enzymes and so forth and so on. And that makes it simple. We're creating a PowerPoint slideshow for doctors for you to present in your office that will be about a 20-minute PowerPoint presentation on this, so that every patient can be educated. We'll have the video available that they can watch, that you can run in your office and play to them, so that we can make it easy for you to educate your patients about the daily nutrient essentials and to create long-term essential health for your patient and for your clinic. And if you really think about it, and I'm not the numbers guy, I'm going to let Clark talk more about that, but if you just run a basic pro forma and take a look at half your patient base, and if they continued to just purchase the very basic supplements each month, and say you kept even losing 5–10% of them every year, but all of your new patients kept going on and so on and so forth, it's not going to be long before you reach that $10,000–$20,000 residual income just from the patients purchasing the products, and you getting the difference between wholesale and retail, and the patients actually being able to purchase a product straight from OHS after they leave your clinic, and you still getting the difference, the percentage profit from that, so that you'll be able to have that long-term income to use for your clinic, for your family, after your clinic goes, after you retire, and so on. And so it's two things that are desperately needed, health professionals. We've got to start teaching the basics to our patients. We have to. The research is strong. We're not doing the service if we just treat them with therapeutics and what caused them to come in the first place. We've got to educate them of what truly brought them in. It was the long-term deficiencies that caused most of the reactions that happened in the body. And so with that, I want to turn some time over to Clark from Thrive, who did a lot of this research that helped put together this program to be able to simply install it in your clinic so that your patients can benefit and your clinic can benefit from it. Clark?
Great. Thank you so much. And again, wonderful being with all of you tonight. As Doug talked about, this opportunity that we see, and I work with doctors all around the country, young doctors as well as old doctors, and I'm constantly, this part of the business side of it, as opposed to things that Dr. John talks to you about, Doug talks to you about, and this business side of it is such a powerful piece of most offices that are missing this powerful tool. And as Doug and Dr. John and I have come together to be able to provide these kind of things for your office, and we have a lot of data that is showing the power of systems. So I want to just start out here by sharing with you again that America is buying nutrition. And we have lots of different reports showing that. This report that came out in November of 2014, 68% of all U.S. adults taking dietary supplements. Another one that recently came out in American Chiropractic, and down here in the blue, more than 70% of Americans taking dietary supplements for a full range of health reasons, from specific conditions to general wellness, etc. And I want you to take just a minute as Doug talked about some of these numbers and what the possibilities are. And again, I work with offices that some of them don't even do nutrition to offices that do over $800,000 a year. So for a minute, maybe think about in the graph that I'm showing you here, this 516 at the very top, this is an office that does 516 patient appointments a month. So think about how many patient appointments do you have going through your office, and you can just get some idea about how much nutrition that you could really sell to your patients long term. So you kind of see here, Dr. Brett Brimhall does 387 patient appointments a month. He currently does $300,000 in nutritional sales annually. And we have a new goal with him since we've implemented the Thrive system to push that to $1 million. Some other offices that we work with, 102 patients in the last 30 days doing $300,000 in nutrition. And again, as we educate patients about these opportunities, this is Dr. Brett's office, and I'm going to blow it up here a little closer this is a 2-year look at his supplement sales. And when the Thrive system was put into his office, notice how his supplement sales jumped. Because what the Thrive system does is magnifies what you do in your office to your patients outside of your office. And we have so much data behind us now that talks about education, education, education. The better you educate your patient in whatever systems that you use, the more they respond. The Thrive system just takes that education piece to a whole nother level through a business system. This is what I got recently from one of our offices back in Georgia. Just real quick, Clark, I wanted to share this with you. In the past, we basically had 0 supplement sales online. In November of 14, I started to put a little bit more attention on this area, and the statistics slightly improved. As we implemented the Thrive program, you can see the overall charges improving. I'm optimistic that with the revamping of our website, improving of the images with aesthetics, sell sheets attached, and the Thrive software will help us do even more. My goal is $25,000 per month of online supplement sales. So you can begin to see the power of systems when you have the right thing, like whole food nutrition and all the things that OHS and Dr. John bring to the table. When you couple all those things with a business system, then wonderful things begin to happen. Again, I mentioned to you that education is the key, not only in your office, but outside of your office as well. And so there's some key touches, some key educational touches with patients that we teach through our program, through our systems. And it starts from the very first phone call that person calls in because they got referred by one of your patients, and the education begins on that very first phone call. And how the Thrive system, again, magnifies those learning opportunities in teaching about nutrition, about the different therapies that you have in your office, and how those things can help them. We go to that first the consult appointment, or whatever your first appointment is called, and there's so much that we teach within your office, literature that we're able to work with Dr. John and Doug to provide you is key. then continuing through the Thrive system of educating through these emails that we call EduMails that go out every week. And we have open rates that are double and triple the national averages because we provide such powerful content to the patient, and they do respond. Offices that are using these things, and especially those offices that are using the optimal clinic system like Dr. Brett, are seeing those significant numbers improving. Again, these key touches, the report of findings, and additional content that we're sending, again, to keep the patient educated and keeping them top of mind. And then the long-term maintenance program. As we work with these offices, and I'm pretty sure most of you are no different, that when patients come in, they buy conditional supplements from you. You recommend them to help them get over. But as soon as they leave your office, they don't stop buying supplements. It's just they stop buying them from you. So the magic here in all of this is, as we educate the patient through all of these things, conditional as well as this daily nutritional essentials, that we keep them buying for life. And we use the Thrive system in so much of that process. So the Thrive system, number one, it's automated patient education and nurturing system. Two, appointment reminder system and via text and email. It generates revenue. It has some powerful reporting tools. If you don't know what your numbers are, how can you ever improve your numbers? And once you begin to learn what your numbers are, you can start filling the holes. It's like this bucket that's got a lot of holes in it. You just keep dumping water in the top of that bucket, and the more holes you're able to plug, the more water you're able to keep. We see that so much in offices around the country of lots of holes in their process and in their systems. The Thrive system can come and help plug a lot of those things to be able to really help your clinic. We reactivate inactive patients here in the yellow at the bottom. We've said this on other webinars a lot, but these things are happening in offices. Dr. Brimhall in 2014 brought in over $100,000 in revenue from his inactive patients that he had no contact with previously, and he had been using a different type of email system for a year and a half that his office manager was trying to figure out how to use. And when we showed up on the block, it was such a blessing to his office because we did all of the things that his system could do, but without all the knowledge to be able to use it. And his staff, our system is all automated. It just plugs in and runs. Remember, data doesn't lie. The truth is in the numbers. Know your numbers so you can grow your numbers. I'm just going to jump here to the next. Again, appointment reminders can significantly help reduce your no-shows. So again, the big picture that I want to leave you here with is that the Thrive system magnifies the educational processes. It keeps your patients in touch. It keeps them educated about all of these things that we talk to you about occasionally in these webinars, but it gets delivered to them weekly in powerful ways of video and really great content. And we want to help you out, be able to get you on board. Love for you to call us, and we'll give you the details of some of those things. Those of you who are Thrive doctors now, we'd love to be able to get you on to the optimal clinic system that will really generate revenue in your office. Obviously, here is Doug Grant's website as well as his phone number. We appreciate so much your time tonight and continuing education of these powerful tools to really help your offices. So again, thank you so much. We appreciate your time. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and we'll see you next time. Give us a call. Thanks.